her daughter Nirmala, and a man named Suleiman. Suleiman is her second husband and a con man. Due to cheating and looting people, he has made many enemies. Now he is on the run with the whole family. But even to escape, money is needed. Wenning's husband's bank account has been frozen, so he borrows money from her. After a few months, they arrive near a river. It is said that taking a dip in this river brings immense wealth and good luck. But Wenning doesn't believe it. She believes that money should be earned through hard work, not by trusting such superstitions. Hearing this, her husband Suleiman slaps her. Wenning, feeling helpless, agrees to help him. Soon Suleiman ties a rope around his waist and enters the river. Wenning's job is to hold on to the rope and keep an eye on him. If Suleiman faints or is in danger, she can pull him out. But the river's current is very strong, and it becomes too much for Wenning. Exhausted, she lets go of the rope and leaves her husband to the mercy of the river. Then she throws all their belongings into the river to make it seem like they were never there. Suleiman drowns in the river. Wenning returns to her mother and daughter. 2 weeks later, Wenning settles in a village near the river. Her daughter Nirmala starts attending the local school there, and her mother works as a cleaner at Yuta school. Wenning herself starts working as a village bus driver. One night it's raining. Wenning goes out on her bike to pick up her mother and daughter, but her daughter is crying continuously. Wenning wants to know the reason, but her mother says she'll tell her once they reach home. The three of them get on the bike and start heading home. However, Nirmala's crying disturbs Wenning, and she wants to get home quickly. So she decides to take a shortcut, but her mother disagrees. She warns that the shortcut could be dangerous in such heavy rain, and advises taking the main road. But Wenning insists and takes the shortcut. Due to the rain, the road is slippery and the hilly path is rough. Suddenly an accident occurs, and Wenning's mother falls off the hill. After a while, Wenning regains consciousness and starts looking for her mother and daughter. That's when she sees the place where her husband had drowned before. Her heart sinks. At that moment, a villager sees her and advises her to leave the area immediately. Soon after, the police arrive and recover her mother's body, but there's no trace of her daughter. The police suspect that the child may have fallen into the river, so they immediately call a rescue team. However, Wenning doesn't notice that her mother's spirit is standing by the riverbank, staring at her. The next day, the rescue team continues the search, but there is no result. Wenning follows them anxiously. Days go by, but there's still no sign of her daughter. Because of this, Wenning can't concentrate on her job and eventually gets fired. The landlord demanding rent adds to her problems. To earn some money, she starts doing live shopping from home. But suddenly, she feels a strange sensation on her back. She turns around but sees nothing. Just then, her mother's face appears in the ring light. However, Wenning can't see it. The next day, the rescue team finds some clothes and calls Wenning to identify them. She immediately recognizes them as her husband's clothes but pretends not to know. A week has now passed since her daughter went missing. Wenning goes live and talks about her daughter's disappearance, asking people for help. Some audience members troll her, saying things like, "Your daughter is missing, and you're busy going live?" Disheartened, Wenning ends the live stream and stands by the window, lost in thought, unaware that her mother's spirit is once again present there. 10 more days pass, but the rescue team finds nothing and decides to call off the search. Helpless, Wenning has no other option left. That night she goes live again and asks people if there's any other way. Just then, she hears a voice from behind. She ends the live stream and goes to check. Her mother's face appears again behind a ring light. Suddenly her phone stand rotates on its own. Wenning is startled but assumes she might have accidentally touched it. She starts the live again and shares her distress. Suddenly the closet door opens by itself. Her mother's face, Yutia, appears again behind the ring light. She's the one opening the closet so Wenning can see what's inside. Wenning finds a bag inside the closet with Professor Tetsuya written on it. Tetsuya is a tourist researcher. The next day, Wenning rides her bike to school and meets Tetsuya. These clothes were washed by her mother when she used to work at the school. Wenning asks, "Can I work here in place of my mother?" Tetsuya hesitates but eventually says yes. Meanwhile, a local podcaster named Tita hears about Wenning's case. She wants to invite her on her show to boost her streaming numbers. But her friend Ragusu advises against it, saying she's still grieving. Don't bother her. However, Tita loves challenges. She goes straight to Wenning's house. The moment she enters the house, she gets a creepy feeling. Tita doesn't see Wenning, so she starts peeking around the house. Just then, she notices water dripping from the ceiling. The sound of each drop scares her. Panicked, she runs away from there. Meanwhile, Venning is working at the school. Her eyes fall on thousands of paper cranes kept in the classroom. Tetsuya tells her that these cranes are a symbol of hope. If someone makes 1,000 paper cranes and lets them float in the river, their wish comes true. Venning quietly remembers this. In the evening, when Venning returns home, Tita and Ragusu come to her house again. They offer her a spot on their podcast. Venning doesn't refuse, but she sets a condition. First, you have to make 1,000 paper cranes for me. Tita, who is willing to do anything to make her show go viral, immediately agrees. Ragusu feels that everything is fine now, so he leaves. Venning and Tita spend the night making cranes. Tired, Tita falls asleep on the sofa. Suddenly, one of the paper crane's wings moves. Then the ring light starts flickering and eventually goes out completely. The next moment, Venning's head starts spinning for no reason. She bends down and then doesn't move at all. Tita wakes up and is stunned to see all this. She quickly wakes up Venning. The next morning, the two of them go to the riverside and let all the cans float away in the water. Downstream, Tetsuya stands by the riverbank, watching the cans drift away. A serious expression comes over his face. Tita drops Venning off at school and goes to meet Ragus, telling him about the terrifying incident from the night before. Ragus says, "Maybe you're disturbed by the memory of your daughter." Tita gives Irti a strange suggestion. "I'll introduce you to the famous shaman, Embagoa. Maybe he can help you find your daughter." Meanwhile, at school, while cleaning, Venning reaches a strange room. Tetsuya stops her and says, "This room doesn't need to be cleaned," but he still takes her inside. The room is filled with plants, and there is white powder scattered under every pot. Tetsuya explains, this keeps ants from reaching the roots of the plants. Venning finds it all very strange, and leaves the room, unaware that a horrifying secret is hidden there. That evening, the river water suddenly starts boiling, and then immediately becomes calm again. Venning goes to Tita and talks about her daughter on a live stream. After the stream ends, Tita suggests she go see Embagoa. Venning immediately agrees, saying, "If there's even a sliver of hope, I will try." The next day, with Ragus's help, they reach Goa's house. Goa tells Venning, "Your daughter is trapped in darkness. A powerful force is holding her back, and all of this is the result of your past sins. If you want your daughter back, you must atone for those sins." Images of the people whose death she was responsible for begin flashing through Venning's mind. She makes a decision. She immediately goes to school, takes an advanced salary from Tetsuya, and boards a bus with Tita. Their intention is to go to the village of Venning's first husband, Vishak. Venning says, "My behavior with Vishak was probably my biggest sin. Vishak was addicted to bike racing and didn't care about the family or our daughter." Venning had divorced him and left the house with her mother and daughter. In a fit of rage, Vishak had started destroying household items. Petrol accidentally spilled and a terrible fire broke out. Vishak was severely burned. Now the two of them reach the hospital. A nurse tells them that Vishak has tried to commit suicide multiple times. Venning cries in front of Vishak and tells him about their daughter going missing. She apologizes, saying, "It was all my fault." But Vishak replies, "If you really want forgiveness, then kill me. Free me from this life." Venning holds a pillow in her hand, but can't bring herself to do it. Then Vishak bites off his tongue and kills himself. Outside, Tita is terrified after seeing all this. On the way back, both of them remain silent. After reaching home, Venning composes herself and starts a live stream. While testing a product, she is shocked. Blood starts coming out of the spray. Venning is stunned. Even in his final moments, Vishak did not forgive her. Perhaps her sins were never absolved. Scared, Venning rushed to Tetsuya's house overnight and sought refuge. That same night, the river water started boiling again. Suddenly, a dead body began to float to the surface. The next morning, villagers saw the body. The body was swollen, but Venning immediately recognized it. It was her second husband, Suleiman, but she remained silent. Upon reaching near Embagoa, Emba understood what was going on in Venning's mind. If you truly want forgiveness, so not from Vishak but from Suleiman, she got the suggestion to perform a special worship by the riverside. Only then could her daughter be saved. Venning told Ragas to gather the items needed for the worship. Then she took Tita and went to school. Tetsuya recognized Tita. "She's the swimming teacher from our village." Venning realized that her daughter had learned swimming from Tita. Hearing this, Venning became furious. "Why didn't you tell me this?" she shouted and pushed Tita out. Borrowing some money from Tetsuya, Venning gave it to Imbagoa. The worship by the riverside began. At that moment, a strange smile appeared on Tetsuya's face. After the worship, Imbagoa told Venning, "Your sins are deep. Now only one solution remains. A life for a life." In Venning's room, the spirits of her mother and Vichak appeared. Crying, Venning picked up a piece of glass, but it turned out to be her daughter's crane hairpin. Meanwhile, Tilta remembered something. In Tetsuya's photo, the same hairpin was in his daughter's hair. After searching online, it was found that Tetsuya's wife and daughter had died in a car accident in Japan. There was suspicion that Tetsuya himself had caused the accident. She quickly ran to Ragus's house and found out that Embago and Ragus were just trying to rob Venning. Tilta rushed to save Venning, but by then Venning was already trapped in Tetsuya's house. Tetsuya tried to explain, "Your daughter looks just like my deceased daughter. I only wanted to raise her well." But Venning felt that the story wasn't so simple. The truth of that unfortunate night came to light. Tetsuya had given Venning's daughter a red frock. When he saw the girl, he was stunned, as if his lost daughter had returned. Overcome with emotion, he wanted to hug her, but the girl refused and fell down the stairs. Tetsuya panicked. He wanted to check her injury, so he tried to take off her dress. Just then, Wenning's mother, Yutia, saw the scene and assumed Tetsuya was trying to do something wrong with her granddaughter. She grabbed the girl and ran away. Wenning was worried, so he followed them in his car. When Wenning's family met with an accident, Tetsuya picked up the girl and hid her in his greenhouse. When Wenning found out the truth, she was shocked. Tetsuya hit her with a teapot and knocked her unconscious. Meanwhile, Tita discovered Tetsuya's dark past and immediately ran to his house. When Wenning regained consciousness, she found herself tied up. Tita sneaked up behind Tetsuya and attacked him with a guitar, but she couldn't overpower him. Tetsuya brought the girl outside and began forcing Wenning to sign adoption papers. Suddenly, during the struggle, they fell into the river. Wenning saved herself, but Tetsuya drowned and died. With this, the story ends here. Comment down your thoughts and also subscribe to this channel for more horror stories like this.